Greetings, YouTube. It's no secret that I have trust issues. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to Kabam. Everything from great things to terrible things to things. In fact, I am a big advocate of counseling, and I have legitimately true story been asked, Shane, which is my real name, why do you have trust issues? And I always say, let me tell you about this company called Kabam. So Christmas was highs and lows. I received so many complaints from people about this year's offers because, yes, they were worse than last year. Yes, they didn't have any boosts with them. Yes, there were no energy refills. And yes, the ones at the bottom without 6-star shards, even for Cavalier members, were made with seemingly just random math that it even seemed like a better deal to go for the $5 one than the $10 one. And obviously the best deals were still fairly solid for $50 and $100, but a lot of people can't afford that, and a lot of people aren't like me in the sense they don't have a YouTube channel to hopefully get some of that money back by revenue when you make videos, I realize I'm blessed enough to afford to do that when most people aren't. But at the same time, Kabam gave Cavalier members a $500 free item because previously we only saw the 5-star generic Awakening gem for 15,000 units for both Cyber Monday and really Cyber Weekend and July 4th. So really good and kind of bad. And then this forum post, which I'll pin as a comment, is concerning. Now, let me give some disclaimers. This is just speculation from the community that was brought to my attention tonight. This is not confirmed fact, and a lot of this comes from Chinese. I have a hard time reading a fortune cookie at a Chinese restaurant. I don't know how to read any Chinese, so I'm going off of what people in the comments are saying. So, for all I know, this may just be untrue future speculation. But if the community is talking about it, and if people are messaging me, it's important to them, and therefore it's worth the video. I also think when it comes to rebalancing champs, the best thing the community can do is threaten to quit. Because if you've put a ton of money into Cull, Obsidian, or Namor, or newer champs, you've gone for featured crystals, but most importantly, you also have things you can't recover, like rank up gems, and sig stones, etc. You have a right to be upset if there's even a rumor that the champion that you put a bunch of money and time into is going to be tweaked at all, especially months after the release of the champion in the game. And so I have been a firm stance believer that the only time I am for rebalancing champs is when you improve them. I have no problem taking a new champ or an old champ and saying they're not as good as they should be, so we're going to make them better. Great. But if you say a champion is too OP, that one exposes that you did not test well enough before you release them, and two, it's a sham. It is something that I don't know how it's legal, because you're taking this product and you're making it worse without any monetary compensation, because of course Kabam, before announcing the rebalancing problem or program or whatever you want to call it, got control of refunds from Apple and Google Play, to where before, if you had an issue like this, you could appeal to Apple or Google Play and get your money back, whereas now, if it goes through Kabam, they are protecting themselves from a mass amount of refunds. So with that being said, the post is entitled, Nerf Namor and Cull Obsidian in January, information from Chinese official webpage. So, it said Kabam is going to nerf Namor and Cull Obsidian in January. Besides Human Torch, Ebony Coleslaw, and Annihilus are involved at the same time. This information was posted on the Chinese official webpage. The link is here. Are you kidding me? So, Kabam Mike has said in a forum post, due to an issue that needs to be addressed in our balance change process, which I'd really hoped was just never going to happen, we will be delaying all balance changes until February, and we'll be delaying the release of the information until January. You've all been very patient, but we do not want to share any information with you until it is complete and addresses all areas of concern for both our summoners and our team. Thank you for your understanding. And then you can see this Chinese. Now, this looks like nothing to me because I can't read it. However, as you can imagine, some people could. And so we have some people who are starting off, looks a little fishy. Are they nerfing Namor? It translates to new features for this champion. And then this is the only bit from this page that seems to pertain to the balance changes. Annihilator, Blackbird, Black Tongue, Thunderbolt, and Nemo. There's some speculation that it's Annihilus, Black Tongue, Ebony Mob, Namor, Blackbird, Thunderbolt. And as you continue to read, you see the conversation getting a little bit more nerve-wracking. And as you continue to read, you'll see fear of rank down tickets for Namor. Blackbird is Cull Obsidian, Thunderbolt is Human Torch. I read some Chinese. Namor and Cull Obsidian are the only 5 stars I have that I use, so I hope they get balanced and not nerfed. Now, that sentence is always confusing to me because to me, if you quote-unquote rebalance a champion and make them effectively worse, that is a nerf. It's not one or the other, it's both. And then Namor, no more stacking Furies. Cull, something to lower his damage output. Human Torch and Annihilus raise their damage output. These are all assumptions that this guy's going after. Sounds realistic. I could have sworn the whole reason they were holding off on the rebalancing was to have an open discussion about the potential changes. And after the community got to say their piece, this is Serious Break commenting, they'd assess and then act. So hopefully we get a post about the changes before they go live, and we get to say our piece. I literally awakened Namor yesterday. If he gets bombed, that was a wasted awakening gem that could have been saved for Omega Red or another New Mutant down the road. Is it still a couple weeks away? I guess we'll see. So, that's a fairly responsible post. I will say, from the awakening gems that we got on Christmas, I received several messages from people who used that gem to awaken Namor especially. I also just want to say, every time Kabam does something really, really, really amazing, like the generic 5-star awakening gem, part of me, because I have these trust issues, thinks in the back of my mind, all right, what are they about to do to the game? Like, when they suddenly gave 5-star shards right and left, like they were Oprah giving away cars, then out of nowhere it was like, oh, by the way, 6 stars are coming. So whenever I see something that's really kind, part of me is just bracing myself for the other shoe to drop. And I realize that doesn't always happen, but it happens quite a bit. And I've been with this company and this game for over 4 years, longer than any romantic relationship. And yes, maybe that is a reflection of my romantic history more than it is my mobile video game history, but it's still a history nonetheless. And so, yeah. Gago H says, I remember seeing a lot of people say they'd quit if Namor got nerfed. But these kind of conversations are really important to have. Even if nothing pertains to it, even if this Chinese post ends up just being speculation that doesn't come true, I believe that if the community doesn't say anything and we don't bring up valid points and we don't threaten to do things like quit if you touch our best champions, then Kabam is going to go through with it. I don't think rebalancing should ever be the case for champions that are quote-unquote too OP. I think that's what makes the game fun, and I also think that they should hire enough testers to make sure when they release a champion, especially one for cash, that they know this champion has zero chance to be quote-unquote rebalanced. I also think that this discussion is far different now than it was after patch 12.0 because we have things like featured Cavalier crystals that you are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for some people to target a specific champ. It's not like you're buying a 4-star crystal or a 5-star crystal that has a small chance to get that champion. You're actually targeting a featured crystal for that champion or sub-featured champion in general. So, yes, this could just be a bit of worry prematurely, but it's still being discussed right now as is, and it demands the community's attention because even if it just has a small % chance to eventually now go back to touching Cull Obsidian and reworking him or Namor, this is a huge, big deal that needs to be addressed. I still think if you're going to do something like make Human Torch better or Annihilus better, fantastic, all for it. Thank you for doing that. You're actually saying you spent money on this and you deserve an even better product than what you paid for. We want to give you that. But the minute you say that product is too great, it's time to make some changes, even if they're small changes that just make them a little bit worse, that is a slippery slope that I cannot get behind. And so I spent this evening praising this company, especially for the Cavalier free gift, giving out what I consider to be a 15,000 unit item or a Labyrinth of Legends 100% only kind of item. But at the same time now, I'm reading these posts, I'm reading the discussion, and if rebalancing is coming back into the picture for 2020, you're going to give every summoner cold feet about buying new crystals and getting excited about using resources on champs that seem really great. Because if you can touch them down the line, it's all for naught, and you can't get that money back that you spent on those resources. So, what do you think about all of this? I realize it is now past midnight, and we are no longer even on Christmas Day, but I felt like this video was definitely worth putting out before I went to bed, and I would love to read your thoughts on this below. Again, this, as you hopefully already know, will be a pinned comment with the link on the video. I know this video is a little bit longer than usual, but I wanted to get all my points out there and read some of the comments as well. Have a great day, YouTube. Thank you for watching.